Matt, welcome to our show and hello.
Hey, how are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's awesome to be here. Thank you. I'm doing well. So, Matt, we're going to get into it here with you. In 2021, you burst out onto the Canadian country music scene with a single, Real Good Kind of Thing. Now, I think I can speak to most when I ask, what took you so long?
That's a great question. Uh, for quite a few years, I kind of honed in on just the this being a songwriter and kind of harvesting that skill set. Had the opportunity to write with quite a few really interesting and cool people across Canada. And yeah, I mean, I had the opportunity in late 2019 to join two girls, Barbara Dora and Tamara Madeline, and we formed country music trio New Moon Junction. So we had started writing and got to our first release, Real Good Kind of Thing. But all the steps from songwriting and performing a little bit by myself in those songwriter series, that's what kind of led to 2021's Real Good Kind of Thing.
So you had to take your time, is what you're telling me, to get to where you were, and you wanted to make sure that you fell in love with it.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. I don't want to just kind of jump into something and not really know what I'm doing. So
Well, that's fair. I think a lot of us just kind of say, hey, let's go ahead and do this and figure it out. Well, at least I do anyway.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not an uncommon approach, right? Things look very intriguing. Let's dive in and get to it.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, out of all of the genres that you could possibly go to, why country? What was it about country music that really grabbed you?
Yeah, a lot of things. I grew up listening to country music. My parents were very integrated in country music, listened to it a lot. I'll be honest, it's not where I started. My younger years, I picked up an electric guitar. I played a lot of like alternative rock. I think I kind of transitioned into the country because I'm not a great electric guitar player. So the acoustic guitar for me was just a natural fit, and it kind of led me into country. I like to kind of look at my roots in country. I would think that my sound is more of a 90s kind of country feel, right? It's not too modern of the stuff you hear today, but it's not the totally old school kind of country that I grew up on. It's kind of that mixture of both that I really am just passionate and love. And also country music is a very storytelling type of genre, which I'm just all about. So
Nice. Now, I noticed there's not a lot of country twang in some of the songs that you've done. Is it because you're still learning how to pick up the banjo, or is that something that
yeah.
just sticking to acoustic for you?
Honestly, not enough twang because I don't have the accent to sing in a twang voice. But also, I mean, it's just I'm a regretfully not a fantastic guitar player. I can make my way by, but I'm a rhythm guitar player by nature. So um, I leave all the twang and the picking and banjo and mandolin up to the guys that I work with. So
Fair enough. When we talk about songwriting, and as you had mentioned that in 2019 you joined up and you started doing these songs, when we talk about writing a song, and this is more for your personal opinion there, when you get a song idea, how long does it take you to go from inception to picking up the guitar and saying, okay, I think this is what I want to do?
it can be a vast range. I've had stuff that's kind of come together within about a half an hour, and I've had stuff that takes about 30 days.
Oh,
So,
wow.
for me, I'm a very melodic songwriter. So I really like to come up with a melody of a song and that catchiness, that hook that we all hear in a song before I start writing it. So I don't really sit down with a pen and paper until I pick up my guitar and kind of come up with something that I can hum or sing along with just random lyrics, and it sounds great. So
Beautiful.
I have a little bit of a backwards kind of trend with writing songs like that, but it works. So we'll stick with
That's
it
good. So, as a family man, do you ever play your new songs for your family?
all the time, like every single one of them. And I love it because it's I have two younger kids, my wife, so each of them has a different ear for what they might like, and it's so interesting when I write a song and I come up and I'm like, what do you guys think of this? And There's lots of nights I spend in this studio writing music. So when I come up with something, I'd rather them give it to me straight than I'm out there playing a show and people don't like it. So, there's a few where it's kind of come back and said, I don't know if that's your best, and that's code for put that one at the back burner.
That's awesome that they give you that honest feedback. I think you nailed it when you're at the bar and you're trying a new song, and people tend to leave the tables to go to the the washroom or grab a
That's
beverage
right.
when you're playing. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
that one didn't work. But yeah, when your kids turn around and say, hey, Dad, that was just okay.
yeah, yeah. That's right. So I value their feedback before anyone. So it's great.
Beautiful. Now, at one point earlier, we were talking about you joined up with these two lovely ladies at
Hmm.
New Moon Junction, and you
Yeah.
created three new singles. But now you're doing your own solo path. So again, I'm going to kind of ask the same question. What took you so long to be a solo careerist here? But what are the advantages and disadvantages of being on your own versus being with a band?
Yeah, I think a lot of what I like about doing things on my own is just and I don't mean this at all disrespectfully, it's at my own schedule, right? And so
Okay.
I'm not a full-time musician, unfortunately. So I have a day job. I have a family that I value spending time with. So just being a solo artist is a little bit more on my own schedule, which I really enjoy. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things is I set my own schedule. My family can be more involved in it. We do a little bit of traveling together for it. So yeah, I mean there was nothing. I mean, New Moon Junction was fantastic, and they've had a new member join, and they're going to continue on doing what they're doing, which is great. I wish them nothing but the best. But I just needed to kind of take a step back and look at me and what I value and what I wanted, and I think this new solo journey is going to be a good one. So.
Beautiful. Now, as a singer-songwriter, and we touched about how you're a rhythm guitar player by nature, is there an instrument that you just say, one day I'm going to grab that, and that's going to be the song?
Oh boy. I would honestly like to, if I could just pick up one instrument and go with it, it would be the drums. I can tap my foot like there's no tomorrow, and that's what gets me through songwriting. But the actual to be a percussionist or a drummer, that would be one thing I would just, oh, that'd be a dream. But that's a lot of work.
Do you think, in your professional opinion, if you said, "Hey, I'm going to pick up the drumsticks tomorrow and do this," do you think that you could do a solo country song just on the drums?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah, that's a good challenge. It's a good challenge.
well, that'd be really neat to see. I'm going to challenge you to it. I think you got to go
Yeah.
buy one of those drum kits now.
That's it. I'm just gonna go get a drum kit and just start to write a country song with nothing but a beat.
Now, you have a new single out, and it's definitely one that people are going to want to hear. And, I'm going to ask you, can you play that new single for us?
I'd love to. Yeah, yeah.
So, what we're going to do then is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, country music sensation Matt Rogers is going to play us his new single.
Great. Perfect.
Stay tuned.